as we know it will come to an end in 90 days. World War Z was unleashed this weekend, joining the horde of zombie culture offerings gnawing at our collective brains. Plenty's been said about why zombies capture our imagination. It's a comment on consumerism. They're an allegory of our fears of science and technology. It could even be we just love blood and gore. But among the zombie pundits out there, a pair of should-be experts have yet to offer their analysis. So, Day 6 thought it was time to reach out to the original zombies.
It's the time of the season.
Colin, Blunstone, and Argent have been making music since the early 1960s. They are the original members of a band called The Zombies, and they are now on tour in the United States. We reached them at Penn's Peak Concert Hall in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. Colin, Rod, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Very nice to meet you. Thank you very much for being on our program.
Great pleasure.
Oh, I'm a huge fan from way back. You know, zombie culture is everywhere these days, but what was it like back in the 1960s? Colin, when you first picked your band name, what was that like?
Well, I don't think there was very much zombie culture way back in the 60s. It was almost a chance thing, really. We were just searching for a name, and we wanted to find something that was original and had some kind of ring to it. And as I remember, our original bass player was a guy called Paul Arnold, and he just sort of...
Who is a Canadian doctor, by the way, now.
Really?
Yes, he's in Edmonton. He works in Edmonton. And he just drew this name out of the air, zombie, and I'm not sure that we really knew what a zombie was.
Well, I knew what a zombie was, but zombies in those days were very different to how everything's perceived now, because I knew that they were something to do with Haiti and voodoo, and
right.
In those days it was a sorcerer would bring back to life corpses and use them for his own purposes. That's pretty much sort of what it was then. But I thought it was great because I thought, well, it had sort of vaguely exotic overtones.
But Brad, you were fine with being a zombie. What about you, Colin?
I wasn't so keen on the name, to be honest, possibly because I didn't really know what it meant. And for years, I think I just associated a zombie as being a penniless, long-haired English musician.
Well, that sort of fitted us quite well at the time.
What it meant to me.
Well, World War Z opens this weekend, and the zombies in this film, these are the state-of-the-art zombies. They're insane. They're super fast freaks. They attack in mobs. They overwhelm the planet. So they're a powerful force. So
that sounds like us now too.
It's
extraordinary.
We're pretty fast on our feet.
Well, I was imagining back in the 60s that the people, when you think of Beatlemania, the fans that chase the Beatles sound a lot like the swarm of zombies in World War Z. Did you have fans like that back when you started out?
We did, actually. It could get quite dangerous. I mean, of course it was exciting, but it could get quite dangerous if you were anywhere near a concert hall and you were walking along the road. I would always not make eye contact with people. I would look at the floor and never run, because if you run, I mean,
the end,
they would be on you like a pack of hounds.
So your advice to Brad Pitt is to not run, to keep it slow.
Yeah, don't make eye contact.
Colin's always given him that advice. Does he listen?
Yeah, I know. Brad and I, very, very close, but he does not listen.
One of the earliest classics of zombie cinema came out in 1968. That's George Romero's Night of the Living Dead.
Well, that was the first one, wasn't it? That really sort of started. Am I right in saying that? Was that the first real zombie movie?
That was, I think, the first one that took the Haitian idea of zombies and translated it into this horror film idea. Yes.
Yeah.
So did you see it?
No, I've never seen a zombie film.
Well, do you have?
Hating you asking that question. Neither of us have ever seen a zombies film.
Have you seen any since then?
I haven't seen any, personally.
Oh,
no.
come on.
I was desperately looking them up on the internet last night, and I've forgotten everything that I read. So I'm just going to come clean.
All right. So you broke up in the late 1960s, and after that, there were all these fake zombie bands that formed and pretended to be you. So what was it like for you to see all the fake zombies roaming around the country?
Well, it was very strange. It was a bit confusing, really. And I can remember Chris White, who was one of the original members of the band, phoned up the manager of one of these bands from Rolling Stone's offices. So people were listening to this conversation. And he said, "Can you tell me something about this Zombies band that you're putting out around the country?" And the manager said, "Well, the lead singer from the band was killed in a road accident, and as a tribute to him and the band, we wanted to keep the name of the band going." And, of course, he's talking to one of the original Zombies who said, this is absolute drivel. And that was on the front page of Rolling Stone. And so, in fact, I have got an article about myself from Rolling Stone explaining how I've already died. So in a way, maybe I am a real zombie. I've only just realized.
Oh, Colin, that's a great story. That's fantastic. Which one of your songs do you think would be great on a zombie movie soundtrack?
Well, probably not Time of the Season, because it's the time of the season for loving. It's
right.
Not quite right, is it? Maybe She's Not There, because in a way she isn't there when she's a zombie, is she?
She's not all there.
It does have, it has a certain atmosphere about it, that record, which, looking back on it, when we first did it, it just sounded like us to me. But when I look back on it, it certainly has a sort of a slightly ethereal atmosphere to it as well. So maybe that would be the one. But that's just my first reaction.
What will it take to see the Zombies in a zombie movie?
It would take an offer.
A phone call.
I hope you get it. Thank you very much, Rod. Colin, great to meet you.
Oh, good. Thanks so much.
Very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Brent. Bye.
This is Day 6. Day 6. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. We're at CBC Day 6.